But I was excited to see maybe that would be a possibility. So who do you think Auzrik gets this time around?
I don't know. I think they'll give him Ao Kuang again. I don't think they really care about the Ao Kuang pick. Ao Kuang is probably the best guy in the game right now, but Ao Kuang isn't good enough to 1v5. So.
Yeah.
Just too squishy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You do have the hyper carry burst potential once you get 5 or 6 item slots available to you, but if you're going to die in 2 abilities, it's not something that you want to just put yourself in that position for. So overall, exceL, they have some things to work on. They need to find their identity, and I like the idea trying to have Auzrik play this kind of hyper carry style just to be able to transition in the mid to late game.
So with that in mind, you know, just a little bit too squishy, is there a character, right? And Smite is a team game, so the answer is no, right? But if you had to pick a character that you want to win the game for your team, maybe with just one other player, who are you giving Auzrik in the jungle? What character can carry the game really hard?
You could play Fafnir in the early game, and you don't really need those defensive items in that early game because your base damage is so high, and then once you get to the mid to late game, you start transitioning with those defensive items.
Exactly. Fafnir is a good pick. Also Thor. He has a global ult. He has a lot of pressure in the early game, and then that late game, just like Fafnir, you transition into more tankier build to help set up for your mid lane. So I would see either a Thor pick, even Ratatosker. Ratatosker is very strong. He's getting in the back line. So I'd say either Thor or Ratatosker.
I like the Ullr pick here coming out for Stormy. Stormy on SoaR has always just kind of been the guy in the long lane, right? Like Brochacho comes and hangs out with the 3v3 crew, and then Uzzy has really come down to it as well. But Stormy has just sort of been able to just sit in lane and sort of play his position. Ullr, I think, is Stormy saying, hey, I want a little bit of the spotlight.
Yeah, Stormy is very similar to like an Allied back in Season 2. His team just kind of lets him do his thing, and then late game he'll show up in the team fights and do some damage.
The interesting thing about Ullr is like you never really know where he's going to go in some of these like non-so 100% competitive games, because sometimes we'll see Ullr in the jungle, specifically Annister, when he knows that they've qualified for a certain spot. Sometimes we'll see mid laners just play it because it'll synergize very well with Ao Kuang in the jungle, for example. So we could potentially see Shaliber play that Ullr if they pick up Ao Kuang for Chapo.
Yeah, Shaliber has an interesting god pool, but it's likely going to be the Raijin over there. You're right, though. It's actually really funny. Our 2 high-end junglers in the SPL on the PC side of things, you have Adapting and Annister, and Adapting loves to play the On-Her jungle.
Homefade too.
And Andy loves to play the Ullr jungle, and it's always, you know, am I allowed to? Am I allowed to? Finally, I'm allowed to. So we'll see if SoaR, if Chapo is going to take a page out of those books and play the Ullr jungle, or if that will go over to the Hunter. Apwash being thought about, but Habwa also being thought about. But what? Oh, there it is.
Locking in on the Habwa.
We will see the Habwa. So Habwa and Arachne, honestly, what's interesting here is exceL. They're going to be able to get some kills here in this game, and I think that's going to be exciting.
I like the Habwa pick. On the Xbox, unlike PC, you see a lot of the mages that have a lot of burst but no escape. You see a lot of focus on Vulcan, Zeus, and Habwa as well. I do like the Habwa pick. It might be their pocket pick. They might just be trying to find something to work with them.
Yeah, we see a lot of Habwa. Paul specifically plays it. Keegsmate plays it, and that might have to do with the dual background. But why do we see so much Habwa on the console side?
It's just a lot of easy burst to confirm. You can't really miss your abilities. His ult, or he has maybe 3 ults, some say. His 1 is very easy to hit. It's very short cooldown. His 3 is a little bit harder to hit, but it's still pretty wide ability, and it's short cooldown as well, and his ult does a ton of damage.
exceL's composition to me seems kill or be killed at this point with the Habwa and the Arachne. They wanted to go for these early game pickoffs, try to find that right synergy. Right now, they don't have their solo laner, unless that Arachne decides to move over there for Coach Killy. We have seen Kiki pull that one out recently, and it's been pretty successful for him in the Gauntlet stage, but we haven't really seen it after that point in time.
Kiki did do very well in the solo lane Arachne. I personally like Arachne. I think a lot of people are sleeping on her. Heartseeker just got a buff recently, and it's a very good item for Arachne coupled with Kins. She's pretty scary.
She certainly can be. And the Aphrodite, likely to wind up in the solo lane on Uzzy, should be an interesting pick as well. Now, normally, let's talk about the downsides to SoaR's draft here. Aphrodite and Nemesis, Aphrodite and Nemesis by themselves, you're kind of like, hey, can you please invade us? I'm really feeling, I just want to get invaded right now. And you're going to pick that into the Arachne? This is, SoaR are
with the Chaac too.
Yeah, they're asking exceL. Arachne and Chaac just do me a favor. I want to be invaded today. So this is, to me, no doubt about it. I got to see the invade coming out from exceL.
The question is exceL going to pull that trigger? Are they confident enough to make that kind of a play? They have to. They got the first part of it down, right, with the draft, the early game picks. They want to be able to find the right opportunities for the kills. The question is, are they going to be brave enough to execute it?
I don't think that I don't think it's about bravery. I think they should just pull the trigger on it, you know, go all in. They have nothing to lose here, so do what you can.
Exactly. For me, what it comes down to is that with in mind which of these players are here, Auzrik is a starting member on this team, and then their solo lane substitute is one of their first string subs, so it's not like one of the more inexperienced players on the squad. So you've got these two guys. I absolutely want to see an invade. Aggro and Tiger, please bring me an invade.
I'll do my best, F. Right in here for exceL and SoaR Gaming, they have absolutely nothing to lose. Let's just see that early aggression, especially with some of the more spicy picks.
Very surprised to see a late game oriented draft from SoaR with the way that they want to play these games, you know, looking like they want to play early game power early on, like in the last game where they go Fafnir support. Here they're going Nemesis, Aphrodite. I mean, a little bit more late game oriented. We'll have to see. I mean, they're right on the analyst desk. You're basically asking to get invaded with these god selections.
Well, we have a couple members of exceL pushing down, but not really going to see anything too much. Instead, it might be SoaR Gaming looking for the invade. Already going to meet up with Auzrik and Chaac, taking a good bit of damage already with those spiders chasing them down.
Forcing it to dash at level 1 is really, really difficult for the Nemesis support, I suppose, which it is. It's going to be Ullr jungle, which doesn't surprise me. Like F. was saying, Chapo loves to play Ullr. It's the god that if he could play it every game, he probably would. He probably loves this god as much as he loves Thor. So no surprise to see him on that. Uzzy with Aphrodite, again, if he could play a god that, you know, he doesn't have to worry about anything else, Aphro is going to be one of those gods. He loves playing it.
Invade is still possible. Looking over at Fafnir on the left side, maybe get a little aggressive when it comes to the lower side of SoaR Gaming's jungle. And there are 2 Wraths available for exceL, one of which is on the Faf.
Yeah, Fafnir could be looking for this. I don't know if they see him coming. In fact, I don't think they do. Plus, with how slow this clear is going to be from Brochacho, it's going to be tough. He actually used the Wrath already. Fafnir is going to be able to come in and just Wrath it away. He doesn't even pick it up. He doesn't even need that stuff, man.
He just wants that jump over, head right back to the safety of his team. Are you happy, F.
There, you've got the Wrath on Nemesis support. There's no reason to use it early. Just wait so that something like that doesn't happen. Instead, Brochacho uses it earlier on than he should have, and they lose the red buff because of it.
When Raijin first came out, I basically used Hebo as an example, Hubwa as an example of what Raijin is like. He was a glass cannon to begin with. He's a little bit easier to deal with now, maybe a little bit more defensive, but you're looking at 2 gods in the same vein.
Kind of, yes. I mean, Raijin obviously a lot safer, like you mentioned, a lot more long-range damage, whereas the damage from Hubwa, you have to be right up next to them to really do significant damage. Water Spout in the later stages, once you're able to level it up around level 13, 14 and get that maxed out, it can do a lot, but before then, it's not going to do a whole lot for you.
Chacho on the opposite end, looking to try and get a little bit of damage. Elexum going to get chunked by Raiju, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to hit the last hit coming through, but Auzrik going to be able to take out Shaliber in retaliation, a 1-for-1 trade.
Beautiful hail of arrows there from Chapo, finds the first blood, and it's a good thing he did because Shaliber dashed in, took a tower shot, and immediately Auzrik says, okay, we can do that. I can just turn on you and kill you. Unfortunately, his mid laner dies before he's able to pick up that first blood, but they trade out the mid laners, and it goes in SoaR's favor.
It's cool, buddy. You want to get aggressive? We're going to punish you for it. exceL, like we mentioned earlier, have nothing to lose. Let's just go ahead and let loose. Make the mistakes. You're not going to make it to Worlds, unfortunately, so at this point, just let it go.
Exactly. It's just, let's just have fun. You know, I was in a situation like this when we had to win 2 games in a row against Eager to go to the SCL Summer Finals LAN. We lost the first game, so the second game was completely inconsequential. And, you know, just having fun with my teammates and picking some stuff that was good, you know, maybe a little bit better than Nemesis support, but still competitively viable and just having fun. It definitely ups your experience. It was a fun time.
Uzzy taking a little bit of damage, but Auzrik, the big point is Auzrik waiting around the corner, waiting to pull this Aphrodite out of the tower. Uzzy, however, not going to fall for it, only barely going for it. Okay, no, he's totally falling for it.
Yeah, he has no idea this is happening. There's the Chaac ultimate. Can't use the Aphrodite ult quite yet. Does have sprint whenever he's not silenced anymore. There it is, popped right away. He's trying to get out. Auzrik going around the corner. Uzzy's out.
He made it somehow. Auzrik not able to chase him down, even though they had Uzzy completely by surprise. StormyRays, however, with Chaacho's help, going to be able to take out RedDevil, but Devil going to be able to find a kill with the tower shot.
Soloed. StormyRays gets soloed by
Gets
RedDevil.
soloed by RedDevil.
Double hog stun, get a Bribro Chaacho, just a breath of fresh air, but then Elexum able to finish him off thanks to the crushing wave and water spout combination.
Chapo going to clear out the wave, jump over the wall into the mid harpies, and then go ahead and back safely back to Fountain.
He has to, but this is a bad time to back because you can see the speed buff has just spawned for SoaR, and exceL are all over it, immediately stolen away, and this blue buff is probably going to suffer the same fate with Uzzy backing.
Auzrik going to go ahead and back as well, though. Going to miss that opportunity to take that blue camp, even though the timer is so close. Instead, we're going to see SoaR Gaming forego their own red buff as well to clear out the minions before any further tower damage happens.
Wrath is down right now for Chaacho, so he could have had the option to solo that by himself. Instead, wants to pick up that extra farm in the mid wave. Now Shalabur is going to head on over. Stormy very far pushed up on this left-hand side, but Elexum doesn't look like he wants to make that rotation.
exceL taking notes. They know that SoaR Gaming aren't going to be able to do too much early game, so they're biting back for as long as they can. However, SoaR Gaming still getting the lead up when it comes to golden experience with taking these just little camps here and there.
And Uzzy's finished that Warlock Sash. He started off with Uncommon Sash 2, trying to get that Warlocks online as quickly as possible. He likes this sort of risky, no starter item start, but it's paid off thus far, but not maybe for
Uzzy,
now.
you fell for it again. Instead, Auzrik is probably going to be able to kill you at this point. Auzrik taking the kill, but the rest of the team is here to try and help out. Chapo going to get pushed back, and Chaacho just around the corner, not able to do anything about it.
exceL doubling up on the kills right now, 4-2. Don't have the gold lead because of the farm that SoaR's been able to amass themselves, but still looking strong with 4 kills.
SoaR Gaming may have made a mistake with this draft, at least this early game. We're 4 minutes and 53 seconds in. exceL have doubled the kills on SoaR Gaming.
And that's the danger. Like F. said, no one expects exceL to win a whole lot of games anymore with the unfortunate situation for their roster having to use as many subs as they have. So that can be a danger. You can get overconfident and pick things like, Nemesis support and Ullr jungle and kind of get punished for it.
Well, definitely getting punished for it this early game. Like you mentioned, it's a late game comp. Auzrik, however, getting caught out on the other side, forced to use his ultimate, but the Nemesis ultimate still being channeled. Shalabur just trying to get away, and they're going to settle for just backing off. But Auzrik not out of Chaacho's sights yet.
But now he's going to have to back up. Chapo in a ton of trouble underneath the tier 1 tower in middle. Elexum able to find him and dies at the tower. That's a good play from him, not giving him that kill bounty as well as getting the kill himself.
They get absolutely no credit because the tower got the last shot. So good play coming out from Elexum. exceL continuing to excel forward.
And then 5-2 right now. Now they're getting close to having that gold lead. Uzzy really getting bullied over in this right-hand side, which is exactly what you want to do up against the Aphrodite solo. And again, Auzrik spending time on this right-hand lane, and Uzzy doesn't see it coming.
Once again, Auzrik just looking for the gank. Uzzy going to be able to make it to tower, but still taking a lot of damage from the axe, from the minions, from the spiders, just from everything they're pumping out.
But it's very important that Uzzy's sprint is now down because that curse is going to be up in the next 35 seconds.
Oh,
and
nobody's nearby.
They're going to have an easy time ganking him. The Gold Fury is going to go down easily here to SoaR. The Wrath, the ultimate from StormyRays, allows him to tank it up easily.
Elexum had no idea. He was the closest one, but went right down the lane, didn't even peek over at the Gold Fury. To be fair, there probably wasn't much he could do, but now exceL in retaliation, still looking for the stuff. After the stuff, get the enemy speed buff.
And Uzzy is about to get dove hard on this right-hand side, it looks like. He's got boots 1, so only 6% movement speed, not quite enough to get away. And I think that can we check in with Uzzy, actually? Has he even leveled his ultimate? A lot of times I know from playing with him, he won't. Okay, so he did put a point into it. We saw him not use it earlier on, around level 5, and it's because you'll usually put a 3rd point into Lovebirds right there. You expect to be safe enough to not have to use that. Almost got punished for it. Now he's forced into picking up the ultimate charge, which is still on cooldown for a little bit longer.
Uzzy not able to teleport back because you do have that sprint. It's a long walk and a good bit of damage on the tower, already down to about half.
Well, he doesn't have to walk because he's using that skin where she rides on the broom.
True. So she's pulling a pain.
Yeah, she can. Yeah,
in the woods.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
She's a wizard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very clear. Anyone who didn't see that clearly hasn't been paying attention.
Elexum gonna get pinched between just so many ultimates, so many abilities, going to fall very quickly with Shalabur getting that last hit.
Chaapo finding the axe very beautifully there, doing a good job of just using this Ullr jungle, even though he's a little bit behind in terms of kills, only 1 to Auzrik's 2. He's got a little bit of a gold lead, finished the Hydra's Lament. Usually not something you see, though, to be fair, you don't usually see Ullr jungle. And it synergizes fairly well. I mean, axe into autos, those sorts of things, you can get a good amount of bonus damage after popping your 2, after using the axe, like I mentioned. Even the 1-3 combo, if you can weave auto attacks in there, you can have a lot of burst damage with that Hydra's Lament.
exceL had a really nice early game thus far, getting a couple kills onto SoaR, but when are we going to see that start tipping down when SoaR hit that late game comp?
Right about now, whenever Chaapo comes over to this right-hand side, forces the ultimate out of Coach Killy. Curse is used just to get him out of a little bit of danger. Chaapo still doesn't want to let this go. Hops over the wall, axes up now,
Nice!
But the perfect juke from Killy gets him out.
Absolutely beautiful, but they're popping the sprint. They don't want to let Killy get away, and now the rotation's over to the right side. Killy's still alive right now, but SoaR gonna come over the wall, still looking to try and find him with Raijin and gonna be able to find that last hit.
There's the ultimate out from Uzzy. Auzrik body blocking nicely. Elexum low on this rotation. I like his positioning. Looking for Chaapo, knocks him up into the crushing wave, but he missed it. He missed it. It was the wrong angle.
Uzzy gonna fall, Elexum gonna fall, SoaR getting credit. Joeeey the only one here to stop the onslaught onto the tier 1 tower, but instead they're just gonna look for the dragon himself. Chaapo gets credit, and here's the aggression that we wanted to see.
Stormy has made the rotation, like you mentioned. Stormy going for that teleport as the Hunter Vamana, going for the more solo lane style of build right now. Stormy, of course, a solo laner for a long time. You might know him as Words as Weapons on the PC scene. Auzrik, this is the wrong neighborhood, brother. You don't want to be there.
Taco drums coming through. Auzrik can't handle the beat, gonna fall in retaliation.
Just
All right,
feels
Chaapo, there you go. Good
Just-
job.
jumping around, having a good old time.
That's what the game's about.
It's just having a good time. That's what it is all about, exactly. And that SoaR's having a good time. Up about 3,000 gold now, at the 9-minute mark, finally surpassing the kills that exceL have, 7 to 6. Elexum doing his best on this hobble. Has made a couple plays, killing Chaapo onto that tier 1 tower in middle. Found a pick on the left-hand side onto Brochacho, but just not quite enough yet.
That's 4,000, almost 4,500 gold in only like 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes of SoaR Gaming just immediately taking this lead from exceL. exceL had a good start. They got a couple of kills, but SoaR Gaming finally finding that momentum, finding their team comp, and now looking to find the win.
At some point, you're like, okay, guys, we should not have given up this many kills. Let's turn it on a little bit, and that's exactly what they're doing. Brochacho going deep onto Elexum, forces out the crushing wave just by using the slice and dice.
Getting kind of scared. Elexum doesn't want to fall again, not only because he's facing against SoaR, but because he's a glass cannon. He's not going to be able to take too many hits. Auzrik the same. Even though he's a spider, he's half health just because of SoaR right there.
And they're totally willing to trade out poke is SoaR because of the sustain they'll have from the Aphrodite finally coming out of the solo lane now. Auzrik taking a lot of damage. Coach Kelly up into the ultimate, just trying to keep everyone else from SoaR at bay. SoaR up into the taiko drums. Can't find the damage quite yet, but everyone on exceL is very low, and SoaR have the Aphrodite.
They brought out the dragon, they brought out the coerce, but now it's already fallen off, and SoaR Gaming see their opportunity to go ahead and start sieging the tier 1 tower. Auzrik looking very low. He's going to be the next target of contention, but Auzrik still gonna find solace in the depths of the tier 2 tower. SoaR Gaming, however, have their prize in the form of the tier 1.
And they're gonna back up. No reason to be pushing the tier 2 right now. Coach Killy, level 12. He's gonna be the one causing problems for SoaR on the side of exceL. And so once he shows up, they back up and look at this Gold Fury. Wrath is up right now for Brochacho on this Nemesis, so this should be pretty easy for SoaR to take.
Chaapo just taking what he can. Every little bit of experience in gold counts, especially if you take it away from exceL. Gold Fury already down to less than half. Auzrik is here, though, trying to make something happen. Gold Fury is still available, but SoaR are going to be able to wrath it down.
And now Auzrik, again, in the wrong neighborhood. Brochacho secures the Gold Fury and secures the kill onto the enemy jungler. Second death of the game for the young bug out of the jungle.
Auzrik looked really good early on because he's using that early Arachne bullying. But now, what is Arachne going to be able to do, even if this were a serious game?
I mean, it would be tough, that's for sure. I mean, we saw Auzrik look good at the beginning of game 1 as well. He came over and got a kill onto Uzzy early on, but once Auzrik seems to fall behind, he has got a difficult time continuing that pressure that you really need out of your jungler. And in fairness to him, I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but exceL's in a tough spot roster-wise, and so it's difficult to find pressure anywhere in a scenario where you're playing with this many substitutes.
And I think it is kind of funny just watching SoaR Gaming. They have good cohesion, as we saw in the previous game, but watching them slip up a couple of times just let you know that they can bleed.
They can bleed, without a doubt, and it looks like there's been a lane swap. StormyRays is the one hooding over to the solo lane, allowing Uzzy to get this free farm on the left-hand side, putting him on this duo lane, and I really like this decision. Uzzy was getting bullied, he was getting dove quite a bit by Auzrik on that right-hand side. Get him onto the duo side, let him free farm here.
And the sustain just to keep Chalibur in the lane to take down this tier 1 tower is going to be more than enough. The only one here to defend is RedDevil, who wants to defend from the safety of a tower instead of anything else.
And that's the right call because there's no rotations at all coming out from exceL except for Habwa, but there's also a rotation onto Auzrik in his own jungle. Stormy getting pretty low. The Dragon Breath not going to be enough to finish him off for now. Elexum gets finished off by Chalibur, though. The Taiko drums not worried about that crushing wave.
Chalibur just waiting and biding his time. Auzrik didn't get out when he probably should have. Gonna get knocked up right into Chaac for the last hit. Gonna fall, as well as the tier 2 tower on the left side. All it needs is one more hit, but Joeeey able to find StormyRays. Killy from the side. Gonna have a good silence, but the Wrath Stun gonna just help out, and the sprint coming through as well. Nemesis might be able to get out.
He's got to be careful, though. There's the curse, but a perfectly timed shield immunes the axe coming out of Coach Killy. Chapo just wailing on him with autos this entire time. Brochacho getting very low. Meditation from Coach Killy keeps him alive just a little bit longer, but reinforcements have shown
Killy
up
wants
from
blood.
the left-hand lane.
Killy wants blood, and he was so close. He may have been able to find it, but that was a 1v2 that turned into a 1v4, and Killy still managed to stay alive for way longer than I thought he would.
Very, very close. That curse coming into play. The meditation was well-timed in addition to that curse. So Chalibur and Uzzy trying to push down this middle lane, not going to be able to do so. They've got no tower damage whatsoever, no penetration online for either magical character. And magical characters as a whole, if you're not Kronos or Soul, you're not going to be pushing towers very well.
Not quite, but 15 minutes in, 11-7, read the kills. exceL looking stronger, but SoaR Gaming still able to overtake them. 8,000 experience and 7,000 gold in their favor.
This Ullr jungles looked interesting, to say the least, for Chapo. And it looks like he wants to go in onto Elexum. Crushing Wave does a good amount of damage. Curse comes out, perfectly timed Sanctuary, immunes that water. Oh, but the water spout over the wall!
Elexum able to find the kill. He thought he got away, but definitely not.
Great.
Absolutely wonderful.
Love it from Elexum. Love the ability to turn and burn, basically. As soon as Chapo goes over the wall, does it blind. He doesn't need the vision. He does fall eventually. Now Chalibur in a little bit of trouble in the mid lane. Transforms into the dragon. Joeeey breathing that acid breath. Shell from Brochacho going to keep Chalibur alive for now, but Killy wants the kill.
The good Thunder Crash to get him out of damage, but now Uzzy trying to join the fight. Auzrik as well. Uzzy barely surviving still. The nice ultimate coming through, and Chaac going to be able to get the spider off of his back and now turn their sights to Killy once again.
Love the play there from Uzzy, but they aren't done yet. Looking at Coach Killy now, this Chaac in the middle of 3. We've seen this one before. He couldn't get a kill last time, and it doesn't look like he's going to get a kill this time either. Uzzy just so comfortable on this Aphrodite. You saw him running to his teammates there out of the jungle, despite the Wrath Stun from Auzrik. Uses the back off perfectly, does a chunk of damage, and then perfectly timed ultimate from Aphrodite immunes the damage from the Arachne ult, survives, and then once Arachne survives, or excuse me, once Aphrodite survives, even if she's 1 HP, she's not going to be there for long. That heal just so impactful.
SoaR Gaming playing a different game, obviously, but it's really weird to see them completely just split off. These almost kills are happening because they're not staying as a group like they would in a normal game. And at that point, exceL realize it and try to capitalize on them for it.
If exceL can be the ones to group up, they could find some good picks, but Elexum's going to be the target right now. Crushing Wave hits a couple, but puts him in a spot where he doesn't want to be. Chapo picks him up. Chalibur eats the ultimate for his teammate, and Stormy's just going to zone the rest of the team while his squad goes towards the Gold Fury.
They're still chasing RedDevil, though. The backflip is going to be down. Auzrik going to be down as well by the hand of StormyRays. Chacho trying to take down RedDevil with the help of the Ullr as well. There he goes. Chapo gets the last hit. Chalibur, however, going to fall to Joeeey in the mid lane, and Killy still lives.
Uzzy and Stormy both have no mana whatsoever right now, so it's just auto attacks. And so Coach Killy's going to be able to do a good amount of damage here. Coerce buff onto him from the Fafnir, keeps him alive a little bit longer, puts out a little bit more damage. Eventually, the auto attacks are enough.
Yeah, there's not much he's really going to be able to do. He's spending too much time worried about juking. However, this means Joeeey could probably find a pick onto Uzzy if he can get that acid breath, but Uzzy going to be able to find the pick onto him.
Shout outs to Warlock Sash, man. That raw HP coming in packed there for Uzzy, as well as it looks like he's going into another item from that tree. Could be Gem of Isolation, very strong on Aphrodite with the dot from Lovebirds.
That's not raw HP, that's Aphrodite HP.
No, it's just like there's a W on it.
It's Aphrodite HP, buddy. 20-10, read the kills, SoaR Gaming up 10. 18 minutes and 16 seconds. exceL holding on a good bit, but there's still a 10,000 gold deficit in favor of SoaR Gaming.
SoaR again, they just need to group up. They're playing a little bit too spread out right now. There's a lot of kills. Yes, 30 kills in 18 minutes is quite a bit. But SoaR have the capability to basically end this game whenever they choose with the lead they have.
Yep, but Fire Giant would definitely help them out with that if they wanted to go ahead and try that. Instead, they're looking to try and take out Auzrik, who's been a pretty big thorn in their side. That's going to be the Nemesis ultimate, forcing out the Spider ultimate, but
no harm,
clean hands, nothing.
No harm, no foul. They just can't do Fire Giant with Auzrik there. It may look like they're chasing kills, but they chased that one because of the Wrath available for Auzrik. Joeeey has one as well, and it just came up off cooldown, so SoaR is forced to fight.
Auzrik is here again, though, and now Killy gonna get pinched, and nice silence coming through. 4 men silence, not gonna be able to do absolutely anything. exceL are gonna find safety in the back of the tower, and Uzzy just taking advantage of that ultimate with StormyRays as well.
Uzzy really went in pretty deep there. Could almost paid for it, but that ultimate paying off. Another nice water spout from Elexum, but now he's in trouble. Turns and burns. Chapo getting very low, almost has the water cannon. Gonna be able to get it off? No, not quite. Chapo does fall to Atlas. Joeeey, however, this fight's not going poorly for exceL.
Auzrik able to find StormyRays, and now looking to take the fight to Uzzy. That link has been broken, a nice stun, forcing out the Sanctuary as well. Auzrik is here, as well as RedDevil and everyone else. RedDevil able to get the kill onto Uzzy, and now they're looking for Chaac. Joeeey gonna be able to find it, and that's gonna be the deicide. exceL find the deicide.
Deicide for exceL, are you kidding me? Now it's gonna be a Fire Giant pull, and they should be able to get this. I mean, they use both of their Wraths, but StormyRays the only one with teleport, and he's not gonna be up for the next 20 seconds. This is gonna be a free Fire Giant for 4 members of exceL.
Just don't die to the Fire Giant, guys.
All 5? No, Elexum's up. They just have to not die to the Fire Giant.
Just don't die to the Fire Giant. Fire Giant is gonna fall. exceL, all 5 members have the Fire Giant. They're gonna be able to back away to safety. And SoaR Gaming, that's a wound to the pride.
That's good. They're gonna get some stuff from the rest of the boys here at LAN after this.
I can hear them through my headset.
Deservedly so. Deservedly so. SoaR definitely not taking this game quite as seriously as they did game 1, and it's starting to show. I mean, they're only up 6 kills, and exceL, while they do have that massive gold deficit, it's still, they've got 5 members with Fire Giant, and they just wiped the team.
They have to make sure. SoaR, they're not at Worlds yet. They are not secure for Worlds yet. They need this win on exceL to even get close to that. So the last thing you want to do is choke here, and exceL are going to do whatever they can to try and just stop that. And they already got the deicide coming through, but SoaR Gaming trying to get back in the swing of things, automatically go in for the Gold Fury.
They're like, all right, enough's enough. We're doing the things the right way now. All 5 members grouped up. They get the Gold Fury, extend that lead back towards the 5-digit mark, almost 10,000, and they're willing to take a fight here, even with 5 members of Fire Giant for exceL, just because of the level and gold lead that they have.
I mean, they definitely have the lead. They got caught with their pants down, and they paid for it. They paid for it in game. They're gonna pay for it when they get off that desk. Like they know they done goofed, and now it's time to go ahead and get back up and make it right.
Just take the speed buff, get down the towers, and continue playing as a team. That's where they started going wrong, is when they tried to take a team fight very split up. You know, the calls probably weren't as consistent as they are during a game where SoaR is completely focused, and they have to be careful about that. Losing this game, like you mentioned, would be absolutely devastating for SoaR.
exceL grouped up at the tower, don't want to let SoaR push it down. They have the regen from the Fire Giant, so at this point, they're ready to weather the storm.
But this is great for exceL, because even if SoaR don't push this and they just allow them to farm, that's the farm that they need. But Atlas Joeeey doesn't want to let them farm. He wants to go in. Elexum blink. What? Where did he go?
Elexum died by the hands of StormyRays. Joeeey might be the next to follow if he's not careful. The Axe gonna be able to stun, and Chapo able to find the kill. Auzrik getting chased by the big baby, and Chapo able to find RedDevil for the double. They're gonna continue looking for it though. He's looking for the triple, able to find it. Chapo just going absolutely ham, trying to clean up and fix their mistakes.
All right, now it's the Chapo show. He's like, I'm done. I'm pulling out my Ullr, and it's time to go. Uzzy takes his quadra kill, but it doesn't matter. There's the deicide for SoaR. All 5 members. Fire Giant didn't matter for exceL there. And it could have been a decent fight. You could see that some members of SoaR are low, but Elexum goes for the blink-crushing wave right off the bat and just splits the uprights. I mean, there was no one home.
They needed that CC and they needed that damage that Elexum can bring to the fight. Unfortunately, because he fell, the rest of the team crumbled behind him. The first Phoenix has fallen on the right side. The middle Phoenix is being aggressed upon, and Elexum already getting aggressed upon as well because Chapo is out for blood.
But Chapo can just focus the Phoenixes here. He's the main tower damage. You can see he's got the Jotun's Wrath, he's got the Brawler's Beatstick, a good amount of pen. Couple members from exceL have respawned, and it looks like SoaR just want to back up. No reason to push down this left Phoenix when they've got this many members up and healthy. You can see Chapo very low on mana, Uzzy about half mana, so he's okay for now, but Brochacho is pretty low on health, so they're just going to back up and wait for the next push.
Auzrik waiting to find somebody to stop the back. Not even going to aggress on it, just being a little cheeky at this point. Give him something to remember him by.
Just no reason to let him back there. The only problem is you got to be worried about them trying to just turn and kill you, but like I mentioned, that's not the time that SoaR want to be playing aggressive. They'd just gotten 2 Phoenixes. They've got a lot of gold after that deicide, as well as the tier 2 tower on the right-hand side. And after SoaR lose that one team fight, you can see they immediately tighten up and play a lot more serious.
Definitely, and I mean, that was their fault. They screwed the pooch. Absolute mistake coming through, but now looking to go ahead and end it 24 minutes and 30 seconds in. Very hefty lead in favor of SoaR Gaming, but they just have to continue to push it. And we hadn't seen that because they were so split up, but now we're seeing these little groups come through, everybody amassing to the mid lane. There's one Phoenix left, and that's on the left side, but Elexum may be the next target. Instead, Chacho going deep.
There it is, the Nemesis ultimate. Elexum nowhere to go. Crushing Wave finds the target this time, but is he going to be able to get out? Chapo finishes him off with one auto. Brochacho getting low. Good CC chain there between Killy and Atlas Joeeey, but Chapo just doing whatever he wants in the back line.
Chapo finds the double. Chapo looking for the triple again, able to find it, and now he wants that quadra that was stolen from him earlier on. You see him go for Auzrik. He's looking for the damage, but the Sanctuary going to stop it, and now with the rest of the team there, and the ultimate completely denied. Look at him.
They just want this kill more than they even want the Titan, but the Titan should be the focus, and it is. Deicide took 25 minutes in exceL, get 15 kills, but SoaR get that very important 2-0, putting themselves in a great spot to qualify for Worlds.
Shout out to the exceL deicide. That was
Absolutely.
probably my favorite part of the game.
Absolutely, and we spent a lot of the game talking about how, you know, SoaR messing up, but you got to give credit where it's due. exceL took that team fight very well. The door was left open by SoaR, and they took that one fight very nicely.
And RedDevil did a very good job coming through as well. So very proud of all the members of exceL. They fought very hard, especially the gauntlet to get here. But it is going to be SoaR that are the victors, and are going to continue to move on and get the points. Now sitting at a nice, comfortable 6.
Perfect spot to be in. I mean, you can't win any more games than you've played, and SoaR's won every game that they've played thus far, sweeping the European teams in their group 4-0. Only Ullr left remaining. I believe they finish off the entire land tomorrow evening up against them at the very, very end, the 4th set of the day. So they'll have to wait a little bit. They could have already been, their fate could already be decided by that point. It could already be SoaR qualifying for Worlds by the time that game rolls around, or it could be big implications for a 3-way tie. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll definitely have to wait and see, but either way, fantastic gameplay coming through. I know the analysts have a couple of things to say about it. Take it away, F.
Might have a couple of things to say. Whether or not we say them is a different story. But here, exceL winds up dropping 2-0 against SoaR. And you know, I asked you, I said, is there a chance that SoaR gets a little overconfident? I think they got a little overconfident in this one, but they ultimately earned the W.
Yeah, they were definitely a little bit overconfident, but they were able to keep their composure at the end and pull through.
Yeah, you know, seeing that win was interesting. And it's funny. I like the comp except for the Vamana in the hunter role. I think there's an upside to a Nemesis support. I mean, that was her original position when she first came out. So I get a lot of the things until Stormy pulled out the baby. So In any event, the scores certainly not here for the baby. 6 points in total for SoaR Gaming as they play 2 matches and they sweep both of them. Eager have 3. They have yet to play. We'll see them end the day against Europe's rival. And exceL, unfortunately, sitting there at the bottom with 0 points.
We get to see, Uzzy showed us why exactly Aphrodite was not intended to really be played anymore in this current meta. Just too easy to really get exploited and abused, especially by that Arachne jungle. Just, you don't come online until much later on in the game, and by trying to transition that, by rushing the Warlock Sash, you just get camped, especially we saw the level differential against the Chaac.
Yeah, it's super easy to camp Aphro with the whole healing meta right now with Ra and everyone. You'd kind of expect Aphrodite maybe, but she just doesn't have enough pressure in the early game. It's an easy jungle invade, and that's why you don't really see Aphro.
Yeah, it's troublesome. Doesn't really work out here. Uzzy is the first one to die in game number 1 to exceL, and the first one to die in game number 2 to exceL. I think Uzzy just winds up being, you know, one of those guys you keep on the team because you have to. So Uzzy, he's standing by. We'll be able to talk to him in a little bit. But when it comes down to it, I think SoaR as a unit, on a serious note, as they move past this exceL shot, like we said, they've got some games tomorrow, but I think SoaR are looking really strong. In general, where do you think they stand compared to everybody else?
I think they're pretty equally matched with Eager. I think ALG is a little bit better than them. I think SoaR's experience on LAN, it's pretty even with ALG. They've both been to LAN multiple times. I think the LAN experience with Eager makes them very equally matched. So I think tomorrow's going to be a really good game to watch.
Well, excellent. So I'm pretty excited to see how that one winds up. And right now, we're gonna talk to Uzzy. We talked before to Chapo and some of the other players from SoaR. So now it's Uzzy's turn. He's standing by next to Adonis.
So do you agree with what F-Dot was saying? You're kind of just there to fill a roster spot?
Not really. I've been playing with Andy or ElSoarchapo since October, and we've really been able to get our synergy.
It's been like a month, dude.
No, like last October.
Oh,
last
yeah,
year.
gotta
last
clarify
October.
that, man. No, I know. No, obviously, phenomenal performance from you guys, not only yesterday, but today as well. Second game, maybe not as clean as you guys would have liked, but what's the feeling right now? I mean, you guys have 6 points. You either need Eager to win 1 game against Rival, or if you guys just win 1 game tomorrow, you're qualified for Worlds. What's the state of the team?
Right now, we all are feeling very confident for qualifying for Worlds. The 2-0 against Rival was It was easier than we thought, so that gives us more confidence to 2-0 Eager as well.
Do you guys feel like you played at a higher level than expected? Do you feel like Rival might have underperformed? Where do you think kind of that head-to-head win?
Definitely we played at a higher level than expected, because we were going in, like, we studied against VODs for Rival and everything, think it would be like tougher games, but really we went in, we went hard, and we just killed it.
And what's the difference between, obviously, online, you guys finished 4th, really struggled to even qualify for LAN, but it's just a completely different SoaR, it seems, at least when it comes to level of gameplay. What preparation did you do to really get you guys to this level?
We practiced with Shaliber for only like a few weeks, and scrims were going all right, but once we got to LAN, we put everything aside and was like focusing on we gotta qualify for Worlds. We gotta try as hard as we can, and that's I think we're
really seemed like the experience kind of came through.
Yeah.
Well, there is a couple more sets, but only one relevant to your group. Eager is going to be playing Rival later on. What are your expectations for that match?
I really hope Rival gives Eager a challenge, because if we see that little slip up from Eager, or if they're struggling a little bit, then we're really confident that we can 2-0 them.
Awesome. Well, you guys don't have many games to play left, but that's going to be it for us. We do have more Smite action, though, coming up just after this short break.